Okay, time to get serious. Black Lives Matter. It's that simple. And when I say Black Lives Matter, that does not mean all lives do not matter. That just simply means that my life, as well as my community's life, my family's life, my little sister's life, maybe my soon-to-be little brother's life, matters just as much as any other white child, Hispanic child, Asian child, Native American child, all across the board, period, point blank. Our lives should matter just as much as any other race or any other ethnicity's life should matter. And it's sad that we have to really point it out, and we have to protest, we have to riot, go through everyday life. We have to fight every day, whether it's seen or not. We have to fight every day. And every day, another life could be lost to police brutality. Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, which was actually by some white supremacists, but it's still by racism. And of course, George Floyd. Now, I only named 3 people. There are possibly hundreds, even thousands of names out there of different hashtags of everybody that has been murdered by police brutality, or just somebody who saw them as less than, or somebody who saw them as a thug. Trayvon Martin was the first time I heard about any black man being killed for simply the color of his skin. And he wasn't even a black man. He was honestly still a minor. I was 8 years old when I heard that story. Imagine me wondering why a teenager was killed by a white man who assumed that because he had his hoodie on his head, Skittles in Arizona in his hand, that he was a threat to the community, to the neighbors around the area. And I'm not the only one who went through it. Millions of black children go through hearing that one or another black person has gotten killed simply based on the color of their skin. And not only my generation, this has been happening in my parents' generation, my grandparents' generation, my great-grandparents' generations, my great-great-grandparents' generations, all the way back to slavery. And I cannot speak for them because that is their story, but what I can say is that I have seen how it has affected my parents, my grandparents, and my great-grandparents as much as I've seen them. The Black Lives Matter hashtag is a movement created for black people to acknowledge racism and discrimination that goes on against black people. Our community, we do have our issues. However, yes, black people do take the lives of other black people, but that should not be distracting from the fact that white people can kill us and get away with it. And the reason for them killing us was for the color of our skin. Not because of any real issues or any real threat, but because of the color of our skin, which is seen as a threat. But when it comes to white on black crime, I guess I should say, their cops have looked at the color of our skin as a threat, and they see that as a threat, and from there on forward, it's like we're not human to them. and our life does not matter as much as theirs does. I'm not even educated in this stuff. I don't have a PhD, but I can speak for my community when I say that we are tired. We are tired of protesting. We've done it in so many ways. We've done it countless times. From Jim Crow laws to slavery. We even fought in the Civil War, the American Civil War. For our own rights. We, as a collective, the Black community as a collective, have marched and protested the bus boycotts, the civil rights movement. We marched with Dr. Martin Luther King. And we kneeled during the national anthem. And that's just to name a few protests that we have done to fight for equal rights, to fight to be viewed just the same as any other person. And we are tired. Like I said, we are tired. There's so much more that I want to discuss that I will probably not be able to say on camera, that it does hurt to talk about it. And it's sad because for me, there's even less chance of me getting murdered by the cops. And you're probably like, what? Like, how does that even work? Because everybody knows there's a spectrum of skin color. And the darker your skin color gets, the less acceptable you are in communities, not just in the United States, but globally. The darker your skin color is, the more you're viewed as an animal or a monkey or something very derogatory. Whereas the lighter you get, the more acceptable you are. It's like the more Eurocentric you look, the better. And I've acknowledged that I may not get pulled over by the cops and pulled out the car like maybe one of my dark-skinned friends would. You know, maybe they would get it worse. And that is something that I truly had to realize. It wasn't overnight where I realized that, oh, the darker you are, the less human you look. I've never viewed my cousins, my grandmother, my dad, or any other dark-skinned person as less than me. And I've grown up around them my entire life. So, I don't remember what I was saying, but yeah, I was brought up around darker skinned people. So it's not something new to me, and I'm not scared of anybody for any color of skin. I'm saying all of this and I just can't seem to really get to a consensus here. I find it terrible that I have to come on camera and speak about Black Lives Matter when this should have been dealt with a long time ago, before me, before my dad, before my grandparents, before my great-grandparents. When slavery was abolished, there should have been some type of help. Instead, there was still systematic racism going on. And it probably doesn't make sense. It's taking everything within me to try to put my words out there. 1, if you've joined the Black Lives Matter movement, You posting on Blackout Tuesday does not mean that you're in alliance with Black Lives Matter. You post one time a black screen to promote awareness, and then you never post again. It says a lot. It says that you just don't want to be caught in, you want to be caught on the wrong side of history. 2, it's sad that we have to convince people to protest for us when we protest for every other community out there. Let's also say that it's sad that we have to say be on the right side of history. Why should we have to tell you to be on the right side of history? Because millions of other people are saying be on the right side of history. You, or whoever you are who is in alliance with the Black Lives Matter movement, should be on the right side of history, because you are a human being just as much as any black person, just as much as any Asian person, just as much as any Hispanic, just as much as any white person is. And I believe that we're far from eradicating the pandemic, the global pandemic of colorism and racism in America and around the world. So if you're really a part of the Black Lives Matter movement, we should not have to post things to get you to get upset. It should automatically be like, hey, George Floyd was a human being who should have been arrested and taken to jail instead of choked out on the floor by a knee by a cop, a racist cop. If you watch that video and you're not upset by it, then you're just as much as the problem as any racist, because it all says the same thing. You were not saddened by seeing that man dead because he is a human being, then you're sick. If you're a non-racist and you were not upset about that video and you have not spoken out about that video and you've only posted a black square on your feed because it must have been quirky or something or trendy, then you're just as much as the problem as any racist, because you have not shown that you put in effort for another human being. Because what if that was your life on the line? You want everybody to be upset and riled up about you being suffocated by a knee on the concrete. It's just, I don't know. I'm just gonna find a way to edit this and give my best points in there, because I seem like I'm just rambling, and I it's so much that I want to say. It's so much, but for this moment, it's not about me and my personal experiences. I think that what I want to make aware is that Black Lives Matter. It is something that I want on my timeline because I am a black life. My family is full of black lives. My children will be black lives, okay? That being said, I guess thank you. And I'm not saying that because I don't appreciate you coming and watching my video, but thank you, because if you watch this far and you're impacted by it, and you're going out there to make a change after watching my video, I thank you for that. Because if I influence just one person and I change the mind of one person, that's all I want to do. The reason I started YouTube was to influence kids my age and younger than me to put their best foot forward, to make better decisions, and to be an ally of humankind. Whether you're any race or ethnicity, whether you're a man or a woman, we all have one common similarity, and that is being human. We're all human at the end of the day. Therefore, we should just work together to be a better people globally, not just in America, not just for right now, not for next week, for the end of time, until the end of time. To cut it short, if you have felt impacted by my video and you want to make a change, I will leave resources down below. I don't know if it's going to be a bunch or if it's going to be just one one link, you know, the one link that has everything, and you can sign petitions. Donate if you feel like donating. Donate to those fundraisers that are made to make bail for protesters, so that way we can keep growing our numbers in protesting and maintain our numbers in protesting for this Black Lives Matter movement. If you don't have the money to donate, or you want to take more action than just signing petitions, please feel free to protest. Now, I cannot protest because my parents don't play that. My parents don't play that, and I want to. It's not up to me to make the decision to go out and protest. So therefore, I will be inside. However, I have signed many petitions. I will be donating, and making this video. If it gets to at least one person that I have not already had subscribed to me, then I've done something to make a change, because that could impact their decision on going out there and protesting for the betterment of America first off, and then for the betterment of the world later on. So yeah, with that being said, like, comment, and subscribe, share this video so that way it can be widespread. And I know I was all over the place, but I hope that there was a message in here that you can take and you can use to, I hope you can use something or some message that I put in this video to change your mind positively and to make a change. Yeah, so I'm out. I'm sorry this video is choppy, but I don't know. So, deuces.